Thank you again for joining me. It's the first episode of the new season, The Resilient Leader. Now, I need you to understand something, that anyone can kick a ball, but not anyone can play in the World Cup. It takes an aggregation of certain skill set, a level of confidence, a level of control, and ability to weather the storm for you to play on certain platforms or on certain stage. Now, with the advent of the pandemic and many other things, recession in different countries, and the challenge to keep leading. So whether you're leading in the corporate setting, you're leading in the not-for-profit setting, the dynamics are different, but the fundamentals are the same. By that I mean the leadership fundamentals. It's all about influencing people to achieve a set goal. And when we're able to influence people physically, emotionally, and otherwise to be able to come along with us to get stuff done, then we're able to move them through the new season, and we demonstrate resilience. Now, I need you to understand one more thing, that it starts with you. My capacity to lead myself, to be resilient as a leader, is what helps me to also get more people to come alongside with me. In this first episode, I'm speaking to the subject of emotional control and life control. If you're a person of faith, you may have heard this statement before. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned. We get knocked down, but we are not destroyed. These are the words of the great Apostle Paul, the guy that wrote, like 2/3 of the New Testament in the Holy Bible. The great Apostle Paul, in his sojourn of faith on the planet Earth, had a lot of issues to deal with. Shipwreck, persecution, they chased him, down many times. But in his own words, he said, we're pressed on every side by troubles. If you're a business owner today, many things may be pressing you on every side, from family issues, the pandemic itself and its effect on you, or on your staff, or on family members, or it may even be the economic recession, maybe in your country or in the industry where you are. Maybe that industry has been seriously impacted by the pandemic. Now, we're all pressed on every side. One thing that you must understand first and foremost is that it's not just about you. The issues that we're going through right now is not extremely specific to individuals or to individual corporates or companies or individual leader. So all leaders must understand that these issues are demanding from us mental toughness. And what is mental toughness? Mental toughness is the ability to resist, manage, and overcome doubts, worries, concerns, and circumstances that prevent us from achieving our goals. When the going gets tough, what you realize that the sheer amount of things that we have to resist or to manage will go up. And that's when we really need to engage mental toughness. I know that the writer of the statement I made earlier, the great Apostle Paul, must have engaged a lot of mental toughness. Now, if you're a person of faith, you must believe that your connection with God should increase your capacity for mental toughness. If not, you're just playing religion. Yeah. Whatever faith you imbibe, you must understand that your connection with a superpower, a greater power, must give you a higher capacity for mental toughness. So the things that knock other people down should not be able to knock you down easily. So whether you're leading at home, you're leading at work, you're leading in the community, you're a political leader, you lead an initiative, there will be issues occasioned by the things that have befallen our world in the last few months. And you need to understand that this will demand mental toughness from you. This is the making of a resilient leader. And talking about mental toughness, In this episode, let me zero in on the subject of control. Emotional control, which says I can manage my emotions and that of other people. When we say leadership is about influence, it starts with me influencing myself and managing my emotions. And when I manage my emotions very well, what happens is that I will be able to manage the emotions of other people around me. Now, as a leader, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. At a time in an organization where one of the organizations that I lead, we were going through a building project, a construction, a big construction. And I just got a call one morning where the crane on the site failed, and it was a massive crane, and it tore into a part of the construction and pulled down some part of it. Now, not only did I hear that and I was terrified, then getting to know that the expatriate supervisor from the contractor who should be on site was not on site. So other people went ahead and made certain decisions that caused the failure, and the contractor will not be liable for all the damage that we incurred. So it's like we're not insured for that damage. Hearing the two bad news at the same time created a lot of panic in me. I drove down straight to the site, the construction site. I saw everything that was going on. And as I was driving down, I remember, Godman, you need to control your emotions. This will call for mental toughness. You need to control your emotions. And I was speaking to myself as I was going. I got in there, I called the architect on site, what really went on, and wrong. And he told me, oh, this happened, that happened, and this is where we are. I said, where's the representative of the contractor? They said that the guy was not around. They already put a call through to him. The guy met me on site eventually, and he said, Godman, you know what? Our company will not be able to take responsibility for this because we didn't sign off before these people moved on with this, assembling this crane and all that. So it's a bad case. My organization will have to take responsibility for it. I mean, my own organization, and thinking about the amount of money and the setback that it has created, I stood there, and rather than being, lapsing into a mood, I kept speaking to myself until the time where I could call the group together and say, look, tough times never last, but tough people do. This is the time for us to forge ahead in the face of adversity. And we're going to come up stronger. This project will still finish to time and to budget. We all need to sacrifice. We all need to pour ourselves into it. And when they saw the way I had controlled my emotion and the kind of energy and excitement I was able to display, they all came alive and started to, see reasons why we all need to put our best into this to make sure that this project will not fail, and we will still finish this project to time, the set time, and to budget. One way or the other, we were able to remediate the situation, and that project actually finished to time and was, maybe a little bit over budget, but nothing that could destroy our reputation or our integrity as a team. And so that's what I'm talking about. Emotional control is very, very important. How well do you manage your emotional reactions in this season where there are loads of adversities? Things that, come to distract us, to pull us down emotionally. If you want to be the resilient leader, you must be the one that is given to emotional control. If you want to master emotional control, you have to tell yourself from time to time, I don't react to things, I respond to things. Reaction puts you at the mercy of other people's action. The weather element, the things going on around you, when it's raining or snow is falling or there's one kind of harsh weather or the other, it affects you emotionally. But when you respond, you are thinking about, how can I overcome this adversity? Not that the adversity has come to tear me down, to destroy my work, to confuse me, or not to get my team and I to achieve our goal, but we can overcome this adversity. So we are not reacting, we are responding. That's how you master your emotions, and all of us must choose to master our emotions if we will become the resilient leader. There's a level of resilience that will give you agility even in the midst of trouble. And that's what people who follow you expect from you. When a leader says it's over, it's over. But when a leader says it's not over, the followers believe that it's not over, and they're able to follow through with you. As I wrap up, this episode, I need you to remember the popular story. This popular story in the Bible about David and Goliath. David being a teenager, a young boy, though ruddy, but very unassuming and all that. But this 7-foot guy, well, maybe he was even taller than that, with all his experience at war and all. When David's brothers, who had been, used to going to war, saw Goliath, their heart melted. They reacted. When David saw Goliath, David responded to Goliath based on how he saw Goliath. He wasn't seeing Goliath from the point of view of, this is going to kill us, this is going to stop us, but he was seeing Goliath from the point of view of, if we win over this, our victory celebration is going to be at a higher level. We're going to get greater recognitions, we're going to get greater level of influence, and we will move closer to the achievement of our dreams. This season calls for a greater level of resilience in your leadership. And I want you to join me again in the next episode as I, move ahead with more lessons and more thoughts on the resilient leader. I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.